The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Being out, we have Nico over here on the old computer, the old board.
Brush the rust off over here on the producer's chair, but I'm here. I'm just hiding in the corner today.
Yeah, our producer Ben could not be here. He had a little bit of college things he had to do. And Maranto has some family in town, so he also couldn't join us. Usually. To anybody who has seen our podcast in the last year, those have been our two guys producing. So, Nico's on the sticks over there. Today we have a special guest. We have Jordan Parks with us today. Jordan, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am all right. Tell us a little bit about yourself to anybody who doesn't know who you are.
So I'm Jordan Parks. Grew up in Wheatfield. Played football there for my 4 years. Enjoyed every second of it. Probably the best years of my life. Honestly, I'm just really excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. Talk a little bit about your playing career. I mean, we've played each other my senior year and your sophomore year. You're on varsity. Fortunately for you guys, we won that game.
Yeah.
Go Wolverines. But, yeah, talk a little bit about your playing career. You were a quarterback.
Yeah. So I played quarterback my 4 years. Honestly, like I said, greatest time of my life. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. So I started on JV my freshman year. We actually had a very successful year, actually one of the first successful seasons in I probably think about 8 years that they had. Went 6-2. Loved those guys to death. I still talk to all of them all the time. Then sophomore year, I played 2 games on JV, got called up to varsity. My first game was at Ken West for their homecoming. That was exciting. Actually, my first game was against Will North when they first opened the turf that they got now. And there was probably about 3,000 people there. I was a scared little 16-year-old stepping on the field with dudes that are 6'5", 6'4", wanting to take your head off. Mm-hmm. That was absolutely unreal. Great experience. But yeah, no, my sophomore year went well. I progressed. Junior year, we stepped it up. Honestly, I will say my entire 3 years on varsity, we didn't make playoffs due to some tiebreakers, but we're not going to get into that now. we don't want any vendettas out there.
Right.
Yeah, no, I loved every second of it. Had a stellar senior year. Decided to hang them up, though. Wasn't really, I just fell out of love with the game. Wasn't really what I wanted to do anymore. But honestly, anybody who's playing, I'd say my one regret is not continuing to play. So as long as you can strap those cleats on and strap that helmet up and you still got the competitive nature, go for it.
That's what's up. I mean, I kind of went through the same thing. I played 1 year at Buffalo State, and I hated it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm one of those guys who, I think everybody in this room can say they eat, sleep, breathe football, regardless of what stage or, how you intake it as well. Like, if you're watching it, on television or in person, playing fantasy football, playing the video games, you just love football. So, like, that's my thing was I played 1 year there, and my 1 year that's what made me not want to play anymore. And it broke my heart a little bit. It's one of those tough things to hang up the cleats, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. I mean, I kind of chose all the other all the other factors of my life, like schoolwork and, family and just life in general. Because, it's such a commitment, college football. And
college football is a full-time job.
That schedule is insane, too. I mean, you're going for 40 hours a week even, which is crazy to me. I give credit to all of those guys that, like I said, eat, breathe, sleep football, and then even work it over in the college.
Right. It could be a job. That's what a lot of people's jobs are, just playing football. And, I do think if I would have took some other things into consideration, like maybe branching out and leaving the area, but that's another tough thing to do is leaving family,
Yep.
and I'm, I bet you we're all family people here,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
we're close to our family, so it's just hard, but I mean, tried the Buff State thing, didn't really work out, plus, no offense to the program, but there was some, complications,
Yep.
so, it just wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
And so I tried playing a second year, tried branching out, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to sink in like even more money that I'm already sinking in to go to college.
Yep.
So yeah, it was heartbreaking, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, just with the schedule thing too. I mean, you're starting 6, 7 in the morning.
You're going to almost 8 a.m. or p.m.
You're eating breakfast 6 to 6:15, then 6:30 you're running out to the field already getting warmed up, and then you have 2-a-days, and it's just insane. You'll stop practice at about 11, then you're back to practice at 3:30. It's just wild.
High school 2-a-days compared to college 2-a-days are two different animals.
Yeah.
I came to realize that, and I just wish a little bit more like I mean I do, but I don't. Like if high schoolers implement like the high school football programs implement more of like a college style to help prepare you.
Yep.
But I mean, it's kind of hard. You got like a whole bunch of everybody. You got like the JV, you got the varsity practicing with each other. It's like
all coaches have their own thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
Which I will say is the Canisius, the St. Joe's, St. Francis of the area, they do a very good job of getting you ready for, college and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I wish I love Niagara Falls High School, but sometimes, I wish I, went to one of those schools.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That was my one regret. My one regret.
Yeah, but I mean, it's over and done with now. I mean, now we just, go on with life.
Go back and think about the memories.
Yeah, about the memories.
Reminisce every once in a while.
It's good. Yeah, it's good to reminisce.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good memories to go with.
You gotta think of the good times for the bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike, you had a crazy weekend.
I was gonna bring that up. I was just about to.
So, yeah, as you guys know, Mike was not here last week. I ran the show, and I think I did a decent job filling in for him.
I was commenting on the.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate you. But, yeah, tell us. I couldn't go into detail as to why you weren't here because we couldn't make that announcement on the show. We wanted to let you have the benefit of announcing that. So I'm sure everyone who follows Mike on Instagram already saw what he went and did. But I kind of alluded to it when I said we'll hear the post game after.
Post game. So, all right. I got to hang out with Post Malone for a couple hours last Thursday, and how it happened, I can explain a good amount of it. I got to leave out a couple details. So first things first, I went to the concert Monday. Anybody in the Buffalo area know Darien Lake, big concert venue, amusement park, all that. He came to Darien Lake on Monday. And went to the concert. Great time. Next day, I go on Snapchat, and I'm just casually looking through stories. I'm on my lunch break at work, and there was this, this person I knew. I met this person a couple times, and she was partying with Post Malone. I got on Snapchat, playing pong, drinking with him, and all that stuff. So I slide up, and I'm like, hey, how do you know Post Malone? And she had this connection. Can't say who it was because, she wants us to keep it. She's a very low key person. The person that
I don't even know this person.
we're referencing.
Mike
So
hasn't even told me her name, so
yeah, so
it's not coming out.
yeah, so it's confidential. So we knew a person, and I went with a group of people. 2 of my friends were there. And we went to the concert in Toronto, and I got to go backstage. I sat in the pit, didn't have to pay for any of this. That was another big thing. I didn't have to pay for a hotel and, food and, all that, stuff. But, yeah, I didn't have to pay for anything. At first, initially, it was for a kind of like a business thing, business trip, I guess. Like,
you're going on business.
Yeah, I was going on business.
You can make that hotel a tax write-off at the end of the
right,
year.
yeah. So I was guaranteed to take pictures. If anybody doesn't know, I do photography also. take pictures. So that was the main motivation of going. And then, other than that, getting to meet Post Malone and hang out with him, like, oh, for sure. So I get there. Budweiser stage was really strict with cameras and stuff like that.
Were you able to take any pictures?
So I took some pictures, but the thing is, I was unable to get a media pass. But I still, the connection that we had, I still had my camera. But the problem is, you're in the pit. You're in a pit of any concert. You got people waving their arms. They got their phones out. I'm just not close enough. And also, I don't have some of the equipment that some of these, well-known concert photographers have. They got like $3,000 lens.
Yeah.
I got like a $600 lens I'm using. And so, it's like stuff like that. So I got some pictures, but I'm still in the process of editing them. Will they get posted? Hopefully, hopefully
Posted?
Posted. Yeah. So hopefully I can salvage something. We'll see though. But pictures weren't really going that well. But besides that, after the concert, we go upstairs. There's like an upstairs part of this venue. We were backstage. The backstage was cool. You get to see like where everybody like the fireworks and fire comes out and like all the different like types of sound they use.
All the pyro and stuff.
The pyro. Yeah, like everything was cool. And so then we go upstairs, we take an elevator, hanging out at an after party, and couldn't really have our phones on us. At some point, we had to use these like locked in like cases. So I'm putting my phone in this case, and I feel this hand touch me, and I look behind me, and it's Post Malone. Post Malone is
He approached you?
So, like, he was, like, there was, like, a line of us, like, going into the party. So, he was just, like, greeting everybody that was coming in. And so, like, he just, like, it wasn't just me. But, like, he put his hand on my shoulder, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, so I dap him up. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, how are you? And we talked for a little bit. And then he goes into the after party. So, free beer. He's sponsored by Bud Light. Free beer.
Shout out Bud Light.
Shout out Bud Light. Yeah, shout out Bud Light. And we hung out there. And I after a while, I got my my phone back. Got some pictures. Anybody who saw it on social media, had so many people slide up and ask me how I did this. 'Cause I was taking videos. I'm like, post like I'm like doing a toast with Post. Like,
you're doing like the pose, like the arm, like you're like in the.
Dude, I was like, me and him were like broed up, like
It looked like you guys were friends for years.
That's what I'm saying. So I talked to him for like 4 hours.
Like just like what were you guys just like shooting the shit or like?
So some of the stuff I can't talk about.
Of course,
some of the stuff is confidential. But I asked him like just basic things like one of my favorite artists is The Weeknd. I have a Weeknd tattoo, and I showed him it, and he was pointing out like the album because it's like his albums, represents symbols that represent his album. So he was like pointing out the albums. I'm like, yo, that's sick. I was like asking how it was like working with him, stuff like that. And we were just drinking, talking about. I told him about the podcast.
So like, all right, is he coming?
So I told him about the Big YAC. I have to involve that. I told him about the Big YAC. He thinks it's fucking.
It's okay. It's not for kids today.
It's not for kids today. Frickin'. Oh wow. He said it was amazing. Like our idea. The podcast. He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
So he's a Cowboys fan. So
last call, Hail Mary, Prescott, touchdown. Yeah. Okay. I know the words. I know the words.
So he's a Cowboys fan. So he was like, he said hopefully, when he has some downtime, maybe he can listen to the podcast.
Ayo.
So
the Bills do play the Cowboys in Buffalo this year, so
he does. He should come up for the game.
Yeah, that'd be a big thing for him to come to.
If we could have him as a guest on the podcast.
Yeah, I did mention the podcast to him, so he knows about the podcast.
So there's now I was always like, there's a universe where this person knows about this in this universe.
In this universe, Post Malone knows about the Big YAC. Yes, he does. I talked to him about the Big YAC.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So I told him about like my photography ventures and stuff like that. I met the other photographers that were there, so I got to network a little bit. So it wasn't a wasted.
It was a business
Yeah,
trip.
It wasn't a
business
wasted
trip.
business trip, and yeah, I don't want to go on too much about it, but it was just amazing. And I will say this, I can't really explain this, but I will say his album that comes out Thursday. Not saying I heard it or anything. It's amazing. So everybody go listen to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, came home, everything was wonderful. But yeah, everybody's just been annoying the heck crap out of me about it. I've had so many people come up to me in public that follow me and like, yeah, they want to meet him too. And I'm like,
I just don't have that.
I don't
kind of-
have that much pull.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised I even got to. Like, I can't just bring another couple people along with me. But if I had the opportunity, I'll try to put some people on.
Yes, sir.
For sure. So yeah, that was my adventure with Post Malone last week. That's why I wasn't here. Nico, Ben, we had Terrell Ford on as well. All did an excellent job. Terrell.
Yeah, I know Terrell a little bit. His brother coached me for our 7-on-7 team, and we went to Michigan, up to Boston, and it was probably, like I said, great experience. I definitely wouldn't change it. Got me a lot of exposure that I didn't know that I could even, get. So playing with the guys from the area, like a bunch of guys went to South Park, Bennett, like guys from all over the area around here. It was just nice getting to know everybody, seeing the different types of players. So the tournament that we went to in Michigan, there were 2 corners on the team that we actually lost to in semis that were 5-star corners committed to like Power 5 schools. So
Right.
it was like good to see what I'm stacked up against,
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a big thing for me. But honestly, 7-on-7 would put me to where they actually do a close job to like Canisius, St. Joe's, like getting you ready for like the college field practices, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like great. Little rain.
Yeah,
Starting to
it's
come
pouring
down.
outside. I just heard that
Buffalo
rain.
weather. Some Buffalo weather right there.
Yeah. Terrell's a good guy. I wish I was here to be with you guys last
He
week.
was great. He pretty much acted as my co-host. It was kind of nice. I was
Right.
kind of relaying things back to him, and he picked up right where I would have left off in the chair. He was
Right.
in my chair too. It was great. It was awesome.
Do you think he was more comfortable this time around than he was last
Totally.
time? So
Totally.
I mean, not saying he wasn't comfortable the first time around, but you could tell like he was more like reserved, trying to like protect his like brand, stuff like that. With the draft was like 2 months away,
Right.
So
Yeah, he was opening up a little bit, and he was a great guest. Terrell, you're more than welcome to come anytime. Come join us again. It was a great time.
yeah. I wish I was there, but yeah, Post Malone was on my mind. Want to talk a little bit about the NFL? We're in training camp season. We're getting close.
It is
We're,
among us.
It is among us.
This is the last week without NFL football, right?
Yep. Next week is the Hall of Fame game.
Who's that against this year?
It is Cleveland and the Jets.
All right.
Yeah. It is a little
We're gonna
interesting
see
matchup.
some little action. I've been waiting for it. I've been
Yeah.
itching to watch football again.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't care who plays in that Hall of Fame game, man. It's just, I mean, obviously, you want, like, some of the better teams.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Jets and Cleveland both got, a decent amount better.
Do you
Yeah.
think we see Elijah Moore quite a bit?
I feel like, the new guys like Elijah Moore, you'll see Deshaun
The
Watson.
revenge game, if you will.
You see Deshaun Watson get like a drive or two. I feel like Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, will not be out there.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna dress.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a Zach Wilson start.
Zach Wilson show, and he's gonna go and light it up. Watch. There's gonna be a little bit of a quarterback controversy coming up.
Oh, man. They said he looks like a different guy. A different quarterback on the
Yeah.
field ever since Aaron Rodgers has arrived.
Maybe it's the ayahuasca.
He is, put him on a little ayahuasca.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like when quarterbacks work with older guys, veteran guys that have been in the league for a while, you start to pick up things you didn't know, certain things that like coaches can't teach you, sort of keys to pick up on, like stuff like that.
Right.
That's how I see it at least. Like at least watching training camp, the games, like stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like one of those situations where you get a guy you just drafted, like, you draft like a Josh Allen, you draft like one of these younger guys, but you want that veteran backing him up. But in this situation, it's like Zach Wilson is benefiting being the backup. So,
Kind of like how Jimmy G was under Brady in New England.
yeah. That's a good example.
Jimmy G performed well on the Niners.
Yeah.
I liked him on the Niners. They had a great squad out there.
Took him to Super Bowl, 2 NFC Championship games.
Yep.
I mean, he had a good run on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now Jimmy G's with the Raiders. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see about that. But yeah, Jets Browns for a Hall of Fame game. That's gonna be just any NFL football. I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like that period from February to August is a long period, and especially that period. I know you love baseball.
Yeah, I do love my baseball, but I'm football at heart.
Yeah, but there's that time where it's just baseball on the TV, and it's like
I've been soaking it up.
Yeah, well, you soak it up. People who love baseball, enjoy it. But me, a casual baseball fan, I play like a fantasy baseball league.
Yep.
I might be doing like a softball league, eventually, if I decide to go that route.
Hey,
but
if you do a fall ball game, hit me up.
I will.
I'll come and join you for a fall ball game.
I know you're a good.
Yeah. Well, I play 4 nights a week. It's
4 nights a week.
4 nights a week.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, you gotta talk about that.
So Mondays I actually play with David Yarger.
Yeah.
And Tuesdays too, but our Monday
Another good
team,
friend of the show.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Chase. I love those guys. Him and Troy. They do a great job with the show. But Mondays we play co-ed. Tuesdays it's just our men's league team, which we actually had a big win last night. And
who do you face? Are they this other
it's
teams?
other teams, they'll like anybody could sign up. You can get your own team in there. It's fun though. You definitely, it gives you like the adrenaline of playing again. Last night we had a very, very close game. We won 15-12 in the 9th.
Oh, wow.
And they're only 7-inning games.
Right, you went into extras.
Yeah, it was back and forth all day. We were down 10, then we were up 1, down 2.
Down 10.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a crazy comeback in baseball.
Oh, yeah. It was insane. But, yeah, no, probably the greatest thing I've ever done.
Have you guys heard of Game On Sports?
I have not.
That's the league that I did. Me and Molly did it last year. Our team won the league. So all I'm saying is I got a ring to my name in fall ball. So if you guys need a free agent, might have to bust out the old softball bat.
Hey, dust it off real quick.
Yeah. I played a pickup baseball game the other couple years ago, I want to say, and so
there was like a point in time where like D'Angelo Johnson was like, getting them ready like
that was
every
one
week.
Of those games.
He would have a game and there would be like heads that showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like 15, 16 guys deep, and then we'd put teams together and play. I went to a couple of those.
Yeah, I stubbed my toe so bad I thought I broke it. I was running on the bases, man. I hit a double, and those bases are just hard as hell, man.
Like a rock.
I stubbed my toe so hard. I sat there. I was like, yo.
Well, you don't got to worry about that playing softball. There's soft bags.
Yeah.
So it's super comfortable on the foot. You'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. We might have to take that into consideration. Otherwise, training camp wise, this is a good time. I want to say this real quick. While we're watching these clips of everybody, we see Garrett Wilson making ridiculous catches. We see guys like Justin Ross, wink, wink, come out and he's looking like the Clemson receiver that we saw years ago. It's an exciting time, but we do have to wait until we see them pads.
Yep.
I will say this: when the pads come on, that's when the men come on.
That's when the mindset gets going.
The mindset's going because you could do anything with the pennies on, no equipment. You just got helmets. You could go out there and look like an all-star.
Yep.
But once those pads come on, that's when we know.
Back when we were practicing, we used to call them practice heroes.
Heroes.
Practice heroes.
Looks good in shorts.
Yep.
Yeah, looks good in shorts, but when those pads come on,
you get between those lines and people start hitting you, you see who really has the dog in them.
Yeah, the dog. Dog. Yeah. And that was me. Like I remember my years of JV, man. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. And I was scared of getting hit. And then once I got to varsity, I was like, I was a little bit more comfortable, and I was like, I gotta lock in, and so my last 2 years I finished strong.
Yeah.
But those first 2 years, cause I had a bad time in Little Loop football, man. I was fat. I was just getting my ass beat all the time. Didn't really set myself up
for the best outcome there.
Yeah.
We got a chat in the comment. Bear Bananas, shout out my boy Joey T. He said, "What's up, boys? You think you're gonna cover gambling stuff once the season starts?"
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Is now a good time for our underdog
Joey T.
advertisement? Yeah, it's our boy Joey.
Yeah. We're going to cover a little bit more of the news, and then we're going to go into the underdog, because then that's when our fantasy segment. So just hold your horses, Joey. Hold your horses. Real quick, extensions. Big extensions coming this week. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, huge.
Got
5-year, 252. Is that right?
Yeah, it's up there. I want to say it's up there. It might be like 260 range. Makes him the highest paid.
5-year, 262. Sorry.
262. Highest paid
bag.
quarterback in the NFL, right?
He got a big bag.
You wanna
I
know
love Herbert.
Yeah, you want to know what's crazy is like Josh Allen's deal
Ninth.
is
He's
now
the
like ninth.
He's the ninth highest paid
And that was
quarterback in the
what? One of the biggest deals
That was
a
like
year ago?
what? Yeah, a year ago, 2 years ago.
A year
like,
ago, 2 years ago, and that was like the biggest deal in NFL history.
yeah, we're sitting here like, damn, like we're gonna be paying for a while, and then now we
Yeah.
look at like these guys
It's
like
a steal. It's a steal.
now it's like a
Yeah.
steal because you see like you see Herbert, Joe Burrow's
Joe
probably
Burrow.
gonna reset the market when he gets his
Yeah.
contract. So Lamar Jackson had a big deal. Deshaun Watson's
Watson,
infamous
Yeah.
deal. But yeah, Herbert. And then Saquon Barkley was one that kind of caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were gonna get anything done.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna get done, honestly.
It's an interesting deal too. It's just 1 year, $11 million. I forget how much he was making off of the franchise tag, but
It was only 10. I think it was 10 million.
It wasn't
Yeah.
much more, so it gets him off the tag, which is interesting. But I don't know. I think they got the deal done, but now that leaves just Josh Jacobs as the only player left to not have signed his franchise tag.
Right. So we'll see with Josh Jacobs, man. Josh Jacobs is going to be an interesting name to watch because he left Las Vegas the other day, and he says he's not coming back. So that's going to be a little interesting. We'll see how that pans out. He's on my Nico's dynasty. He has a dynasty league, and he's my RB1. My RBs in that league are Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara. That's a little scary.
A little scary.
That's a little scary.
A little scary.
So I might need to make a move or somebody for another running back.
I'll give you Josh Jacobs for a first right now.
For a first right now. Oh, my God. Why are you putting me on the spot? I know you love Josh Jacobs.
It's my guy. It's number one running back in the league right now.
Oh, yeah. He had a big year last year, which is exactly why I thought they were going to get a big deal done in the offseason. Because you figure he finished his RB1.
Well, there was that report that came out that he was in the Raiders parking lot, ready to walk into the facility and sign that tag, but they just didn't get a deal done.
That's crazy.
It's just that running back market, man. It's just it's affecting everybody, and some of these guys are people who deserve, that kind of money. Like Austin Eckler is like a big name for me, which is like he needs to be paid. He is like I'm not gonna say he is that Chargers offense, but like when guys like Keenan Allen are hurt, Mike Williams are hurt, like
He plays a massive role.
He carries.
Massive role in that off. Even when they're there, he's a
Yeah,
big
even
part
when
of
he
it.
is like they are there, everybody's healthy. He still plays a good role, but like the what's up? Okay. So yeah, when he is there, like he plays a big role, as you said. So yeah, these running backs need to be paid. I mean, and it's I didn't really get to talk about it last week because I wasn't here. I know Nico and company touched on it, but yeah, it's just Jonathan Taylor's another name. I mean, he was hurt last year, had that monster year 2 years ago. So he's another guy who's like visibly upset about this situation. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna touch a little bit about it later with fantasy football and a little bit the future of the NFL running back and how it affects fantasy football. We're gonna touch on that a little bit, and then real quick, a couple injuries. Nyheim
Already
Hines.
starting.
Yep.
Nyheim Hines, when this wasn't even a training camp injury. This was a unfortunate jet ski accident.
And it's like you can't even say it was a real jet ski accident because he was stationary. He was sitting on his jet ski, and another jet ski came and just plowed him.
Whoever was on that jet ski had some kind of personal vendetta. I guess.
Yeah, they got to be a Pats fan or something.
Gotta be a Pats fan or like something, man. Some kind of enemy, because or unless because that's just like a crazy accident, unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
To have. Another jet ski into your knee is just like, wow, and you're not even moving.
Yeah, I can't even think about that. That just makes me like wince up. Like, I feel bad for the guy, honestly.
Yeah, I hope I hope he can carry his career moving forward. It looks like it seems that he'll be ready for 2024 from early reports. But I mean, dang, like he's probably gonna need some reconstructive knee surgery. Just I couldn't imagine playing.
He probably shattered his knee,
Yeah.
like his kneecap. I mean, if you're getting a whole jet ski to the knee, I mean,
If you don't need knee constructive surgery, you should probably be on like one of those shows where you could flex your body however you want.
Right.
What was the one, like Hole in the Wall or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have his knee just go like different
Yeah.
directions. Yeah.
Knees don't bend like that.
Knees don't bend like that. So Nyheim Hines out for 2023 season. Hopefully comes back 2024. In terms of Bills, he's going to be the Bills' return man. So good role. The team also is going to contribute on offense as well behind Cook and Harris. But they wanted to get him involved in the receiving game, which I was hoping for because if anybody's watched this show, I'm very adamant on how he was used last year. So, he won't be out there this year. So very unfortunate.
Do you think this opens up the door at all for more value to Damian Harris and for James Cook? And even you can make the case for Latavius Murray. I mean,
I saw a spike in their
does
projections.
it make them fantasy relevant, you think?
I saw like a 1 point spike in everybody's.
Yeah.
I know in Cook and Harris's fantasy projections heading into week 1.
Oh yeah,
so.
Cook obviously is going to have fantasy value, but even Damian Harris is like that sub flex play. Like you can probably steal him late in most redrafts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be really interested to see where he goes now because you're not getting some of those Hawks touches. But the concern for me with the Bills is their kick returner situation. It feels like just a few years ago, we even last year, we had some troubles with returning.
Mm-hmm.
And when we traded for Nyheim Hines mid-season, I mean, it was like night and day with the return unit. So I'll be real interested to see as to this battle in training camp to who ultimately takes that spot.
Yeah, I heard Deontay Hardy, Khalil Shakir, Trent Sherfield, Micah Hyde has also been, he's returned punts throughout his career. So, it's probably going to be a mixture of those guys or some mystery name. Could also sign some people as well.
Terrell
Ford, come on. Sign him now.
Buffalo native.
So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting battle to watch now in training camp.
I'll be taking notes. I'm actually headed to the training camp next Tuesday. Yeah, August 1st. Me and Molly got tickets to the.
Is that the first
camp.
open practice or is that?
No. I think fans were welcome in today.
Oh yeah, they were. Okay.
But yeah, no, I got tickets for us for the first, so I'll be taking notes and I'll be reporting back. Next Wednesday.
Spread the Big YAC word over there.
Yes, sir. I'll be throwing business cards around.
There we go. Kadarius Toney will miss most of the training camp. He should be back week 1, so that might hurt fantasy football value for him. We'll see. Maybe not. I think it was a knee cartilage.
Tweaked it again.
Yeah,
tweaked it. Something in his knee. So he had to get a little bit of a surgery. So he should be ready by week 1, maybe week 2.
So you got to figure after that Super Bowl, I mean, his stock had to have gone up.
Oh,
now,
it's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there. So
some mock drafts I did, they were, so I saw him flying off the board 6th, 7th round. But you got to figure playing with Mahomes, one of the top 3 elite quarterbacks in the league, that's what it's gonna do to you.
Yeah. Right.
It's gonna make you go.
Yeah, I've seen him go from mid round to later rounds.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just none of those guys are that clear cut. That Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
That guy. Even when Juju was there, he wasn't even really
He was still a middle round guy.
Still a middle round guy. He wasn't that clear number 1. It's just ever since Tyreek left this last year, he there's just been this rotation of who is considered it, and it's not a true number 1 because you have a guy in Travis Kelce as your main pass catcher.
I think that lightens the load a little bit.
It does, just a little bit. One of the greatest tight ends to ever grace the football field. But yeah, something to watch out for. So now we're going to move on to our fantasy. Sounds good. Look forward to it. Okay. So we're gonna move on to our fantasy segment, brought to you by Underdog Fantasy.
You ready to get paid?
You ready to get paid?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can. I'll get
Clear the throat. Clear the throat.
All right. We are proud to be partnered with Underdog Fantasy, and we want to talk to you about the biggest fantasy football tournament of all time, Best Ball Mania 4. Don't know what Best Ball is? It is simple. You just enter Best Ball Mania on Underdog's slick mobile app, draft your team, and that's it. Yep, it's set and forget as Underdog optimizes your lineup weekly to create the highest scoring one. It's here, it's Best Ball Mania 4, and it's your shot at a first place prize of $3 million. Get signed up on UnderdogFantasy.com or via the App Store with promo code Big YAC.
Big YAC.
BIGYAC. And we'll get your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Big YAC. BIGYAC. You must be 18 years old and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates, and terms apply. And if you're concerned with your play, call 1-877-HOPE-NY for help today.
All right, let's get it going. Not that big of a fantasy segment today, but I do want to talk about the Big YAC Fantasy Football League. So Nico, pitched the idea of us having a, because we did the Emerge Fantasy Football League last year with all the podcasts. Not all the podcasts. There's only technically 3 to 4
at the time. Yeah,
at the time. But now, we're bringing on like another 2 or 3 teams. So much bigger Emerge League. So we decided to have a Big YAC Fantasy Football League with
former guests. We have a year's worth of guests to pick out of the pool from. So, we grabbed some names, and I don't know, do we have any spots still open?
We might have 1 or 2.
1 or 2 spots still open, and then...
if you're interested, Jordan.
Oh, I'm in. Count me in already. Count me in already.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So, if you're interested, we'll send you that link. It's on Sleep. You play Sleeper, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if you're one of those villains that played Yahoo.
NFL
Fantasy.
Oh, no NFL. My one league, we do use Yahoo.
Okay. It's not like your main league. Okay, okay.
So I also wanted to say shout out to Tank for switching. He's the commissioner for the league. Tank from Tank Talk. Shout out Tank Talk. He switched it out of the ESPN app.
Thank God.
It's on Sleeper now, so all of my leagues are in one spot, one app. I don't have to shuffle between all these different apps to play fantasy. Thank you for everyone who have merged their leagues onto Sleeper. Makes life
Sleeper's
so
the
much
best fantasy
Sleeper
app right
supremacy
now. For fantasy football, leagues like that. Not talking about Underdog Fantasy because they're our boys, but they're more of a different approach to the fantasy game. But yeah, Big YAC Fantasy Football is going to be a collection of all of our former guests, and we're going to go at it. It's going to be a little fun, time. Fantasy football is always fun. It's going to be a 12-team league. Any other specifics, Nico, that I'm missing? Like, is it it's PPR?
It's gonna for our league. It's gonna be PPR. I already got rid of kickers. We can agree on that. I don't think anyone wants to play with kickers anymore.
Hey,
Kickers
man, I love kickers. Come on.
You're one of the only ones then, my friend. I'm even mulling getting rid of defense because I feel like we can just run with 4 flexes or 3 flexes and call it a day. But with it being a redraft, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, we can keep a defense. But
let's throw a defense in there.
Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, regular PPR. I'm probably going to add a tight end premium because that seems to be the new norm for fantasy. A lot of leagues have been running tight ends getting an extra half point per reception. Give a little more value to them. So yeah, we can put some votes up in the chat, see what people are thinking, and go from there. This is not a monarchy. We're gonna run this fantasy league as a democracy.
Right. So it's gonna be like a $20 buy-in. Yeah.
Winner's going to get some merch. They're going to get a merch pack of probably a sweatshirt, and a hat, sticker, rock
The old care
rock
package.
all your Big YAC needs. Maybe the apron. Maybe we'll throw the apron in there.
Throw
'cause
in
why
the
not?
dog ribbon or
The dog
apron.
bandana.
Yeah.
We actually had 2 sales of that when we first opened up the shop. Shout out to Alyssa and Maddie. They bought them for their 2 dogs. So
Shout out. Big YAC supporters.
Big YAC supporters through and through.
Yeah, if you guys want to purchase that certain Big YAC bandana, we're at Big YAC Podcast Spread Shop. So take a look at our Spreadshot account. It's on our Instagram and our link tree. Right when you go in the link tree, it's an easy shortcut. So yeah, take a look at that. What else? So yeah, we have the Merge League. So we're welcoming the Star Wars podcast. Alan Garcia, I think, is starting up his podcast and
Card
podcast. So, so he's gonna be joining as well. A couple other new guys. Like last year, it was just Big YAC, Tank Talk, Next to Kin, which is just Maranto, and then
Zach Squared.
So there was like 8 of us. I want to say.
Was Trap Nerd in there?
No, Trap Nerd wasn't in there yet.
There was like a random because Larry was there.
Oh yeah, I don't know who. I really didn't know who Larry was. I thought Larry was just kind of like Larry.
No, it was I forget which. It's another podcast, but one that's just on the BICBP network, not based out of a
I don't know him personally. Like I was just like Larry.
Yeah, it's Larry.
They're just like Larry.
Hey, you know Larry?
Hey,
Yeah.
Larry. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Got smoked by Larry. Ah, that's nice. Don't know. But yeah, that's going to be the Big YAC Fantasy Football League and the Merge League. We're going to be, pumping out a lot of content with both that stuff because, we had the trophy hoisted up in the corner last year, and unfortunately, I think, didn't you make it to the finals?
I made it to the finals against Zach Squared.
Yeah.
It was a close one, but I couldn't walk away with it.
It's okay.
I do have a question for both of you, though. What is it? Well, do you guys have fantasy punishments for your league, or are you guys more monotone on that?
We're pretty.
Really?
Listen, I'm up to some punishment.
Oh.
That sounds kind of weird,
That's
but
a little insane, Mike.
that's a little weird, but
I mean, yeah,
humiliating.
Yeah, we could rock with that. I'm sure we could get some people behind that.
Yeah. So last year I came in last in my league, so I had to run a marathon.
Naked?
No, not naked.
Oh.
Not naked. Just a marathon. We said that it had to be the Buffalo Marathon, but I ended up having to work that day. So the guy that lost before didn't do the punishment either, so we did a runoff. So whoever ran the most of the marathon got to keep the spot in the league. I lost, so I'm out.
Oh, you got kicked out of your. Oh,
yeah. It was a tough scene. I mean, he was running. He wasn't stopping. He had no quit in his eyes, and I was like, I think I ran maybe 5 miles, and I was like, that's it.
5 miles?
That's all I got
I'd
in
be
me.
lucky to do 1.
That's all I had in me.
You're making it seem like that's light work.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't light. It didn't feel like light work, I'll tell you that. I laid out in the grass for about 25 minutes just trying to catch my breath.
Wow.
It was there were some crazy things thrown around at the draft, and the dog cage, you were stuck in a dog cage for 5 minutes, and like
that's not that
flour, like you could get no bodily fluids dumped on you, but it was like, foods like syrup, flour, mustard. Yeah.
Oh, they
that's
put you
bad.
in the cage and just threw stuff at you?
5
It
minutes.
sounds like a college frat house.
That sounds like
Yeah.
what is that? What are they called? Why is my mind blanking? Commit,
Kinda
not a
scary.
commit, but a pledge.
Yeah, pledge. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like a pledge punishment.
Wow.
I'm glad they didn't decide on that one, though. I'm glad it was just the marathon, but sad to be out of the
marathon.
league. Yeah, it's sad to be out of the league, but
So, how do you get back into it?
So maybe if
Is there a waiting list for this league?
Yeah, I mean there's like 3 or 4 guys that are on the list. I proposed the idea of standing on the corner by McDonald's down here in a dress with a sign that says "I suck at fantasy football" for a couple hours.
I thought you were gonna say you're that
Like that guy that
Oh.
that guy yesterday or 2
That
days
was
ago
absolutely wild.
with the male what was it
it was like it said circumcision.
Circumcision
is a
people.
crime
Yeah.
or something like that.
I drove by. I was like, I had to look 3 times. I was like, what is going
That
on?
was insane. Yeah. So don't, as long as it's not that.
No. It was just a dress, sign. They shot it down right away. They were like, nope, you're running. And I was like, all right, cool.
Oh God, that sounds like hell.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to punishment. There's nothing like crazy.
Yeah, nothing
like,
crazy.
I'll go on like if I lose, I'll go on the podcast and like I don't know, say some stuff.
Yeah.
Like talk about like my deepest, darkest secret.
Mike's got to open up his Pandora's box of secrets.
My Pandora's box. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared of the dog.
I lost a bet on the show, and we still have to go through with my punishment.
We do. I was in Toronto last week, and I saw some stuff.
You saw some stuff.
I was gonna thrift some stuff for you. But,
so I gotta go.
yeah.
Me and him, we gotta go to Hofbrauhaus, and I gotta be wearing some Carson Wentz gear.
Oh.
So I mean, that's a pretty bad punishment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get jeered at the entire night by whoever. But yeah, hey, we're gonna get some drinks at Hofbrauhaus.
I was gonna thrift it, but then I thought about it. One, it was like expensive thrifting. I was like, oh, and then two, it was just like I don't know. Sometimes with thrifting, you gotta watch with like quality and like where it's been. Kind of thing. So I didn't want to like get you a jersey, and then next thing you know, you have like fleas. So and like
I appreciate you not giving me fleas.
yeah. So like the one jersey I saw was like the funniest thing ever. It was a Michael Strahan jersey. I'm like, yo, Michael Strahan, dope as hell. 92 blue Giants jersey. I flip it, other side of the jersey. Completely different number. First it said 92 front. The back said 31.
Wow.
Still says Strahan
Was that
on
like
it.
a custom jersey?
No, it
Did
looked
Michael
like a
Strahan
real
ever
jersey. It was like one of
have-
those Reebok like old jerseys from like 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like one of those like old Reebok jerseys that make you look like you're wearing a dress.
Jeez, you should have got it just for the gag.
Yeah, it was. It
Why
was
does this guy have
$70.
two numbers? Oh hell no.
It was
Never mind.
$70. I was like, no. One, I don't know where it's been, and two,
Yeah.
it's funny, but like, it's not that funny. Like $70 funny. So
You guys ever seen those like split jerseys? They'll split the home and away jersey down the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
I think those are the coolest thing ever.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
They got like the one that Mama Kelsey was wearing for the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, where it was
Yeah.
like half Jason, half
Yep.
Travis.
They need to sell that jersey. That like their podcast should release that. as,
That would
like,
do
yeah.
numbers.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that would absolutely probably be in like the top 10 of sales in jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume. It's because their podcast is huge now.
Yeah.
I was just listening to that Julian Edelman episode.
Oh, it was funny.
On the drive back from Syracuse. That was solid. That was a good episode.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, I'm cool with Julian Edelman now, but like, you know, obviously when he was with the Patriots, I was kind of.
Did you hear him talk about the Bills?
I didn't see the Bills thing. I saw the portion of where he threw the touchdown pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell.
Or Randy Moss calling him Edelnut.
Yeah. What was the bill? What did he say about the Bills?
They were talking about like the most hostile environments to play in, and one of either Jason or Travis like gave like a list of names. It was like the Falcons or the
Falcons.
Because they all lost in the Super Bowl. So like going after like into their stadium after beating them in the Super Bowl, and then Julian Edelman was like, "Nah, a team that you didn't name was the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, they hated you. He said you had people in the age range of 3 to 90 flipping you off.
No, it's right.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's
right.
not wrong. Like people in Buffalo are ruthless.
People hated Julian Edelman too. In
Yeah,
Buffalo.
it's just because he's good.
Yeah.
Same with Brady. You know, all the Brady sits when he pees signs that you saw on
the
TV.
dildos thrown on field. I mean, we've
dildos.
seen it all.
Yeah, they cut Gronk a little bit of slack just because he was from Buffalo. But
Until he pile
until the
drive.
Trey White,
Yeah.
the Trey
yeah.
White thing, it was like, oh no.
Yep, there he goes.
You're done. You're done, buddy. So, yeah, that's
That actually surprised me that Kelsey didn't say Buffalo.
Yeah,
Right.
I think because they were going off of talking about Super Bowls, and so I think they were talking about all the teams that they've beaten in the Super Bowl.
Okay. So, yeah, no, that would definitely, Kelsey's, because you figure last time they played here, it was during COVID, so
Yeah.
no fans were in there. And then,
they'll play here. Yeah,
yeah, they
Not much.
very rarely come here. I think the past, 2 years that we played them, been in
once.
Arrowhead? Yeah, once.
Yeah, once here, but like Arrowhead has been like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in good old Buffalo. Real quick before we head on to our next thing, no running back strategy in fantasy. What do you guys think about it?
Personally, I'm a fan of it because you got to figure it's PPR. Those rushing yards really aren't going to do you well unless you get like a Christian McCaffrey who's out there catching pet, like an Eckler. You get one of those guys. I personally like taking receivers early because they hold the most value. or even like Travis Kelce or George Kittle, like one of the bigger name tight ends, those guys hold value to where you can trade for, a top 10 running back that's, performing well, do whatever you need to do just to make sure your team's, progressing along the way.
What about you, Nico? How do you feel about no running back?
I don't know. Consider me old school. I still think one of the best strategies right now is to take one of those top flight running backs early. If you're in the position to do it. If you have a top 3 pick, I'm gonna grab Christian McCaffrey. I might, at the swing of the 1-2, I might grab Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, get one of those top flight guys before they're gone, and then you get into that. I feel like now more than ever the running back dead zone is even bigger. It used to just be like rounds like 4 through 6, but now it's even like getting into like halfway through 2 to 6. So if you get one of those top flight guys early, there is so much receiver depth. So I don't know. I can see arguments for both sides of it. But I don't know. If I have the opportunity to still grab one of those top running backs, then I'm gonna do it. But if not, give me a top receiver all the way.
Yeah.
Or Travis Kelce.
Me personally, it just depends on where you're drafting. If I'm in top 5, it just depends who's there. Some guys like to, in some of the drafts I've been in one redraft so far, and
you already have a redraft that's drafting.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's early. Very early.
Yeah, it's a group of friends, PlayStation friends.
Okay.
Yeah, and they like to do things a little bit early, I guess. So I don't know. I was like, whatever. So yeah, the one guy like didn't take Justin Jefferson number 1, and I'm like, okay. So who you picking number 1? And he was like, he picked Tyreek Hill number 1.
Interesting.
And I was like,
So that's a weird
questionable.
Take.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill number 1. I'm like,
actually, Terrell also said that he would consider Tyreek Hill at number 1.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
They might know something
maybe-
that we don't.
Yeah, maybe it's not that crazy of a thought then.
I got 2 guys in mind for one. It's either Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are the 2 that I'd go with.
Right. I'm going with those 2, or I don't want to give up my strategy in case I do get one of these picks. But Jefferson and Chase are like almost undisputably 1 and 2, unless you want to go McCaffrey.
Our boy Jules Houston, also co-host of the Virtuosos. He didn't comment.
Oh, yeah, I thought you commented.
No, he put out his first thing of rankings, and he started with wide receiver for fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
He put Jamar Chase ahead of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he's a big Jamar Chase guy.
He's huge on Jamar Chase this year, and it's like I can see it because Jamar Chase has the better quarterback throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, it's an option, but you might see some of those guys take Jamar Chase first ahead of Justin Jefferson.
I'm still going Jettas.
Yeah.
I'm still going Jettas, man. What I saw last year from Jettas.
I'm sold on him.
I'm so sold. Like, it's just, and then now, Thielen's gone. Thielen wasn't that big of a piece last year, but he's gone. It depends on what Jordan Addison is, too. If KG Osborne takes a jump at number 2. They also don't have Dalvin Cook, so, they might be pass heavy. I don't know.
Still got Hawk.
Still got Hawk, too, yeah. Still got Hawk, as well. So that's interesting as well, but I'm keeping Jefferson number 1. I do see the argument of Chase, but T. Higgins is like almost cracking top 10. He's a top 15 receiver, maybe like right outside top 15 if you really want to like get, make that argument. But Cincinnati has a lot of options too. They have a lot of mouth to feeds as well. So I'm slightly taking Jefferson. Burrow is the better quarterback by all means, but let's not crap on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, no, Kirk Cousins is consistent.
He was a top 10 fantasy quarterback last year.
And that's absolutely wild. Is that you think you get
QB9.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think that Kirk Cousins would be in that top 10 fantasy conversation.
Yeah. It's just like everybody hates on him just because, he's not putting up the numbers of like these guys like Mahomes or Allen or Herbert, puts up. But like, he gets the job done. And I just think it's more of like they don't do anything. Mm-hmm. Minnesota doesn't win in the postseason that much.
Yeah.
They're kind of like that fringe playoff team. They almost, some of those one-sided games, those the 1-point differential games, went the other way. They could have been knocked out of a playoff spot. So, We'll see. I still got Jett as number 1. What I saw from him last year, as I said, was just that Bills-Vikings game, let alone carved out a lot for me. I was like, because the Bills have a solid defense, and they did that. Granted, we didn't have Trey White.
Yeah.
But
that game honestly took like 3 years off my life. That was so stressful, and then to get the heart broken at the end.
Yeah. A couple of the Bills games last 2 years, I have taken years off my life. 3 years. So dating back to the Houston Bills game, that took years off my life because
that was brutal.
That was a game we should have won. But.
Funny story about that is I don't know if you guys know LaShawn German, guy that gives away tickets on Twitter. So he actually gave me and my dad tickets to go to the Houston game, but we would have been like an hour late to kick off. So like we were like, we'll just turn around. I ended up giving them to my one buddy who lives in Houston.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, yeah, so he enjoyed his time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wish we could have went, though. That would have been insane. But then again, that 23-hour drive would have hurt on the way back.
Yeah, that's a hard drive home.
Yeah.
And then real quick, if we have time, do you guys want to crank out a grid before we leave?
I'm in.
So we're going to do the crossover grid. If anybody knows, www.crossovergrid.com. They do multiple grids, including basketball, football, hockey. I think soccer is even on there now. So we're gonna pull that up and we're gonna play some grids.
Oh, let's do it.
How was the grid last week? I didn't get to see.
We got it.
You got it.
It was a pretty tough one, but we got it.
Okay, so we got
on our x-axis we have.
Is there any way we can blow this up a little bit more or no?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Because I mean, I don't need glasses, but I mean, they'd kind of help me out in this.
That's probably the best we can get it from here.
Okay, I could see it. So it's Steelers, Patriots, Steelers, Houston, and then what's the bottom? I can't remember.
200 yards receiving in a single game.
All right, and then Dolphins, Patriots, Dolphins, Houston, Dolphins, 200 yards. And then what's the top right?
Caught a receiving touchdown from Eddie Manning.
From Eddie Manning. So Eli, Peyton,
Archie, yeah, you could.
Wow.
I mean, you'd have to really pull out of the vault.
You'd have to go deep.
All right, Jordan, you're our guest.
Oh,
take a square.
Take a crack at this.
I'm just gonna go easy here. I'm gonna go Steelers and then 200-yard receiver. I feel like the easy answer here is Antonio Brown.
AB, should be.
He's had to have done it.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's a gimme.
Boom.
There you go, Antonio Brown.
Here, I got one.
You got one?
I got one for the middle.
Houston,
Dolphins. Give me Laramie Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil, the guy who, with the gas mask.
The gas mask.
Yeah, go Laramie Tunsil.
35%.
What was AB's percent?
Oh, that's got to be up there.
AB was 81.
81. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Dolphins Patriots. Give me. I feel like I do this whenever I see Dolphins Patriots. Or give me Jason McCourty.
Jason McCourty? He played on Dolphins?
Jason McCourty. Give me Jason McCourty. Trust process. Bada bing.
Boom.
2.7%.
2.7. Let's go.
See, I was thinking like Danny Amendola or like someone
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was a name.
Chris Hogan? Did Chris Hogan play on the
Not
Dolphins?
For the Dolphins. I think it was Jets Patriots.
Patriots.
All right. So
I'm trying to think of this Pat Steelers one.
Pat Steelers, yeah.
Actually, Chris Hogan jumps in my mind, but I don't think that's right.
I don't think he was on the Steelers.
I don't think he was on the Steelers.
Ooh.
I know he was on the Panthers.
He was on the Panthers.
And the Bills.
Steelers, Patriots. Huh. Do you have anything, Nico?
I got nothing for Steelers, Patriots, but I'm thinking Dolphins and 200 receiving yards. Tyreek Hill has to be on there, right?
You want to try it?
Actually, wait, hold on.
Dolphins 200. You got a more bona fide bet?
I'm going because I feel like I saw it on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I saw it on TikTok. And that Tyreek, I don't think he's done 200 yards. I think he's been close. But I think Waddle did it last year.
Ooh.
Are we going Jalen Waddle?
I don't know.
I trust you.
I trust you.
I don't know if you should, but like it's in my mind.
Waddle. He's our guest. Let's do it. Jalen Waddle.
No.
All right.
My fault, boys.
It's okay. Patriots and Mannings. Patriots and Manning. That's kind of crazy because, I'm trying to date back to those Giants-Patriots Super Bowls. I feel like they didn't swap rosters, really. Ooh. Patriots.
This one's got me rattled.
Yeah, this one's kind of hard.
I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this seems kind of easy. But now when you're putting pen to paper, and you're like, oh,
Pressure's on.
Trying to
Caught a receiving touchdown from Manning and 200 yards receiving. What about Victor Cruz?
Victor Cruz is the name.
Show me Victor Cruz.
No.
Oh, Jordan!
My football knowledge,
no.
man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me.
Ooh, this is getting hard. We might flunk this one out.
Yeah, we only got 4 guesses left. 6 boxes.
Caught a
Sold us.
pass from Patriots and Manning. Patriots and Manning.
Thinking of like a random receiver.
It has to be because there's not like a prominent receiver. I think that switched. Because they both had rivals, so you got to think that's like Brady. That most of that is Brady.
Eli.
I mean, you
Eli.
could do
And
Eli
then-
or Peyton.
Or Peyton on the Broncos, too.
Peyton on the Broncos. Peyton on the Colts.
Did R.I.P. DT, but did he play on the Patriots? Or no? Or was
Texans.
Yeah.
He went to the Texans.
Texans? Okay.
I mean, okay, we can actually do Demaryius Thomas for Texans and caught receiving touchdown from any. There we go.
That should work. Yeah, okay, that
Boom.
works. What's the rarity on that?
62%.
Wow.
Wow.
I
So
don't-
it's caught a touchdown from Manning and had a 200-yard game, correct?
Yep. So it's just pick a prominent Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison?
Yeah.
I feel like Marvin Harrison put up 200 before. I feel like it was more receptions.
No.
No.
What? Really?
Wow.
We're flunking this grid. Oh my. I haven't done a grid in 2 days, so that's why I'm kind of
He's not fresh.
not fresh.
No one's screaming in chat either, so that doesn't help.
Come on, scream in the chat,
Yeah.
somebody.
Caught receiving touchdown. What about Steelers Texans? We haven't talked about that one.
Steelers, Texans.
If you have the last name Watt.
Yeah? Steelers, Texans. So usually I wake up and I play these and I'm half asleep. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I got the answers. Steelers, Texans. Wow.
I don't know if he played on the Texans, but Ray McLeod. I don't think he played on the Texans.
It was
No.
Niners,
It was
Bills,
Niners, Bills, Steelers.
Steelers. And we got to think, this is all time, too. Dynasty Daddy's only until 1999.
All time. Jeez.
All time. But Houston's only been around since 2000 and
2000, I think.
2000, yeah. They've only been around this century.
Did Andre Johnson ever play for the Steelers?
No.
No.
He was
No, he
Titans,
was
Texans.
Texans. That's what it was.
Steelers, Texans. Why am I drawing the craziest blank? Oof.
I'm stumped, honestly.
Yeah, this might be a
This is a hard one.
Wow.
And then just Steelers Patriots
Steelers, Patriots.
all time. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yep.
There you go. There you go, Nico. How many guesses do we have after that? None?
17%. Juju. We have one guess left.
One guess. Okay, so we can salvage something.
Patriots and Manning touchdown.
Randy Moss never did that.
Randy Moss never caught a pass.
Not Wes Welker.
Not Gronk.
Wait, Wes Welker does fit into that
He does play in that?
Does he?
because he played with Peyton in Denver. Didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah!
Yeah, that's an unlock.
Try Wes Welker.
There he is.
Ah!
Boom!
Let's go! Oh, my God. I was just saying names.
That jumped into my mind
Yeah.
so
I
fast.
forgot he played for the Broncos. I'm thinking,
All right. I want to. Can I see them? If I click on them, does it let
I
me?
think you could see, go down a little bit. Maybe it says like show answers. Maybe.
So what if I just click on one? Is there one that we're completely like not gonna get?
Well, touchdown or Peyton Manning touchdown 200 yards. I feel like we should be able to get that, but we just haven't.
Oh, I can't click on them.
I feel like prominent receivers for Manning. Reggie Wayne maybe could be a name.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne. Who else? I'm gonna say because his receivers in Denver were Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas. Did you reset it?
Yeah. Just to see if I can.
So we got what, 7 out of 10 or
We got 7 out of 9. No, 6
out of 9. Are you just taking guesses?
I want to fill it back out so we can.
Try to finish it.
Yeah. Who am I missing?
We had Yep. So
And then Wes Welker
Wes
right there.
Welker,
Yep.
top right.
Good pull, by the way.
Yeah,
That was a name.
Yeah.
That was a name.
All right, so we got Steelers, Texans, to. I mean, are we out? Okay, you want to just like look up the answers since
Might as well.
You know what? I feel like we should guess Tyreek for that Dolphins 200-yard receiving game.
Yeah, guess that and see if that one works.
There
He
it
Yep,
did do
there
it.
it is.
He did do it. Oh my god.
I will
Yeah.
take full blame for that one.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's okay.
You got a Steelers Texan and a
Try Reggie Wayne for bottom right.
for 200 and single.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne.
There he
Yep.
is.
Oh my god.
31%.
All right. So I mean, we had the guesses.
Yeah.
It's
A
just
Steeler and Texan.
Steeler and Texan.
It's gonna be like some like random linebacker.
Yeah.
This one we might.
Yeah, this one I'm
Pull it.
Yeah.
Pulling it. All right, Steelers, Texans, players.
Super Bowl legend Jacoby Jones.
Kobe Jones,
Jacoby Jones.
Denzel Perryman, T.J. Watt, actually. No, never mind. I'm sorry. Ignore that. It just listed the Steelers players. Randy Bullock, kicker. Sammy Coates. You guys remember Sammy Coates? Steven Nelson, cornerback. You know he's a decent quarterback.
Sammy Coates, 8.7%.
Nate Washington. You guys remember Nate Washington as a receiver?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Brown, kicker. Yeah, it's not a lot of prominent, like, there's not a lot of names.
big names.
Yeah, that one's hard. So,
Besides Anthony Miller playing on both teams in one season in 2021, that would be like the
Could
most
happen.
recent. That would be
right.
popping into the mind quick.
Right. So, 6 out of 9 on that grid. Not our greatest
Not
work.
our best.
No, I sold us on the Tyreek one, but
It's okay. Not our greatest work. But yeah, so that's all we got for episode 55 of the Big YAC podcast. Jordan, anything you want to add?
you know, these guys, they do a great job with the pod.
Thank you.
You guys will
Appreciate
have
you.
me again. You know, just let me know. I'll come back.
For sure.
Hopefully during season.
Yes, sir.
Give my betting advice. Also, I'd lock in Bills to win the AFC East. I know there's a lot of controversy over it. Rodgers, the Dolphins. Lock it in right now.
Buy low
Lock
right
in
now.
Right now.
Right now.
It's probably the lowest that price will be too.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, if you really want to come into the fantasy league as well.
Yeah, no, count me in. I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, he's
so,
down a league already this year.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make up that marathon.
Oh. I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Alrighty, Nico. Anything else you want to add before we?
That's
sign
all
off?
I got.
All right. Well, this was episode 55 of the Big YAC podcast. We'll be back next week for episode 56. Hopefully, we got some more news coming out of training camp and whatnot. Some more headlines. Until then, see you guys later. Stay safe. It's raining out there. Get your rain jackets.